You know, I've never told this story to such a large crowd before. It must be one hell of a story on account of y'all being here. It begins in an unlikely place, the St. Anthony's Christian Brothers Orphanage. And there were 5 boys who stayed there during the years of 1863 and 1854. They were their ratty group. They were always getting into trouble with their handler, Mother Helen. There was Tom Day, Harry Hughes, Charlie and Dean Rose. And of course, there was Mason Harvey. What makes these boys so special, I hear you ask? Well, they were the Wessons boys, weren't they? And this is their ballad.
What? Just the one share? What is it? Some kind of orphanage?
Sit down, Dean Rose.
You want to sit, Charlie?
Nah, I prefer to stand. Go ahead, kiddo. So, what passage of the good book are we reading today, Mother?
You're not. Maybe if you'd have paid more attention to your readings, we wouldn't be here.
I reckon we'd be here regardless of whether we paid attention to our readings or not, Mother.
Especially when the age of release from an orphanage such as this is 17. But we've been working those fields long past the expiry date. I mean, for Christ's sakes, I'm 19 now. And you, Dean?
I'm 17, Charlie.
Well, will you look at that?
Who stole the loaves from the kitchen?
Diabolical.
And, what does that word mean?
Why, it means very, very, very bad.
If you used it in a sentence, then maybe I'd understand.
Mother Helen,
I know you had a hand in this, Charlie Rose. Those other boys don't do nothing sinful unless you two are involved.
Now, that simply ain't true. Only the other night we heard Mason Harvey getting very sinful with himself.
He does that a lot, actually.
He does. It's not very healthy.
No, it's not. You know, I wonder what has him thinking such sinful thoughts.
If you two don't start talking, beatings for the both of you.
You're not going to lay a hand on my baby brother.
Beatings ain't what scares the two of you, though, is it? How about my visits to Mason Harvey? Does that scare you tough guys?
Not again, Mother Helen.
Last one was only yesterday.
We'll tell you what you want. You just leave Mason alone.
I'm afraid that offer is long gone. Mr. Wesson?
Mr. Wesson, it's not what you think. She's going to do something to Mason.
Good evening, Harold Hughes. Thank you for agreeing to speak with me.
Just doing my bit, Mother Helen.
How's that oath you took with us? Still going strong?
Yes, Mother. I can't remember the last time I lied. And whenever I get the temptation, that's when I think of my family. And I don't lie.
You've always been the best behaved child in here, Harold. You do your readings, you pray. So now I'm asking you to prove yourself even more to me and to God.
Whatever it takes to please Him, I'll do it.
Who stole the loaves from the kitchen?
Mother, those boys were hungry.
It is a sin to steal, Harry. And they stole. Give me their names. Now!
Charlie and Dean snuck into the kitchen.
I knew it! They'll both get beaten for this.
Mason made sure the coast was clear in the hallway. Tom hid the loaves in the dorm until they were safe to eat.
Mason? And Tom, too?
And I spoke to you for 10 straight minutes to make sure you weren't looking.
That cracked little brat Charlie Rose put y'all up to this.
Not this time. This time it was Tom Day.
That's what I get for taking on a rich boy. He's too smart for his own good. Mr. Wesson? I hear from Sister Betsy that you don't believe in the Almighty Father, Tom Day.
No, I do not.
Is there a reason?
I don't need the assurance. I live my life to the best of my ability. And it isn't because I fear the wrath of some man in the clouds.
Judging by why I brought you here, you haven't succeeded in living your life to the best of your ability.
Let me tell you something, Mother. I sure as shit know what I want. To be fed, to be rid of you.
Well, you're gonna have to put up with me a while longer, Tom Day, because I ain't going anywhere.
Oh, I don't need you to. Like I said, I know what I want.
You won't eat for the rest of the week. Mark my words. You act so high and mighty because your daddy was rich. But those other boys don't respect you the way you think. You don't have very loyal followers, do you? Unlike God.
I don't blame my friends when they're overcome with fear, and they do what they think is right in the moment. After all, that's what I did when I took the bread from the kitchen. I don't blame Harry for something like that. Unlike God.
You overstep once more, Tom Day, and your body will not be found. I promise you that. Mr. Wesson?
Mason Harvey's lesson, Mother Helen. Maybe we can put an end to this whole ordeal.
That we can, Mr. Wesson. But first... Mason Harvey, take your shirt off. Take it off, you weed of a boy.
Jesus Christ!
Oh, you believe in him now, do you? I want you to understand the gravity of your decisions, Tom Day. Every bruise on that boy's body is the result of a sin by you, the Rose Brothers. It don't matter. Now, I know mercy may be an odd concept to a non-religious type like yourself. But give Mason a break.
Mother Helen, please. I'll take the punishment. You don't have to hurt him.
Stop your sniveling. I know I don't. I've learned that it's just as effective to watch pain as feeling it. Besides, he ain't even shown you the worst part yet. Go ahead, Mason.
Now, Harold, I need to know what you told her.
Just the plan. Just about the bread.
So she doesn't know about the key.
She never asked. So I reckon I wasn't lying if I just didn't tell her.
At least is that, Charlie. She doesn't suspect.
Yeah, well, I just hope the same goes for Mr. Wesson and Sister Betsy.
They dislike Mother Helen as much as the rest of us.
Dislike? You're practically their pet. Don't you lie,
He
big
don't
boy.
lie, do he? You know he's right. Mr. Weston knows this place ain't good news, and Sister Betsy's only here because of her oath.
Do you reckon they try and stop us?
Mr. Wesson is a good man. He'll know what's right.
Speak of the devil. You know, we used that fancy word you taught us, Tom.
Oh yeah, diabolical. She loved it.
Look, I've got something to say to you boys. Mother Helen's giving you all your last chance. You slip up again, I ain't going to be able to put in a good word for you.
Well, what about Mason? Is he all right?
As I said, your last chance to make a change.
Did anyone else think he was trying to hint at something?
We don't need his hints. We know what we got to do. Right, Tom?
I'm sure you boys have learned your lesson.
We've learned something, all right.
You all need to take a look at yourselves and realize that what you're doing is self-destructive. No good can come from stealing, causing trouble.
You don't agree with what Mother Helen does to Mason, do
What
you?
she does is for God to judge, and none of us,
those loaves were still in the kitchen, Mason wouldn't be hurting like he is now.
Mother Helen had let us out when our time came. He wouldn't either.
This isn't God's will, Sister Betsy. You know it.
What was that you were saying earlier, Charlie? About what we should do?
We all know she hurts Mason. We all know it's wrong, and it has no place in this world. Which is why I say we sneak back into the kitchen. Except this time, we don't get no bread. We get knives.
You've got to be kidding me, man.
Listen, Charlie, your plans have gotten us out of a pickle in the past, but as I see it, this will just get us into one we can't escape.
Pickle, huh? Pickle? Well, what about this little pickle, you piece of shit? Why should I have to get us out of this one when you caused this shit in the first place, huh?
Charlie, enough!
It's not Harry's fault. He's afraid, like the rest of us.
At least tell me you're with me, kid.
To Helen back.
Well, looks like it's 2 against 2. But it ain't up to us.
Well, it's your call, buddy. If you feel like you can't move past this, with her, still living, well, all you gotta do is just nod your head.
This is a bad idea.
We'll be fugitives. Not Mary's again, Mason. There's always room for a second chance, Mason. I want to get out of here as much as everyone else. But killing Mother Helen? Where will that get us?
I don't think the Roses would be too happy if they knew you were trying to put a stop to their little murder spree.
Sometimes I wonder if he listens to what we say at all.
Oh, he listens all right. That's all he can do.
I don't think I can go through with it tomorrow, Tom.
You can, and you will. They'll leave you behind if you don't. Besides, you ain't exactly in Charlie's good books at the moment anyway. With that unyielding honesty. What's the deal with that anyway? You cling to honesty like it's a raft, keeping you afloat in a sea of sinners like me.
You ain't a sinner.
And we all sinners in your God's eyes?
From Mother Helen, sure, but I don't see it that way. You're a sinner when you lose sight of what you love, what you live for.
And what is it you live for? Right now, in this very moment.
Now, honesty. Once it was freedom.
Now that's a story I want to hear.
You've probably already heard how I got stuck here, right?
Yeah. Family couldn't keep you fed. Happens more often than not.
See, that's not fully correct. My pa was a reverend. My brother, too. So my path, according to my daddy, was to become a reverend as well. But I didn't want that. Of course I didn't. So I strayed from the path. I ran away, and I kept moving. I went a whole week without seeing another human face, and the first one I saw was Mother Helen on her way back to the orphanage. She asked me if I had a family, and I said no. You want to know why I don't lie, Tom? It's because the last time I did, my life changed for the worse.
What if it could change for the better? What if a lie like that could make things easier?
There's a reason God compelled me to speak the truth, and nothing but the truth. That is what I live for, in this moment.
Hey, maybe God brought you here so you could tell me your life story, and I could turn you into a liar.
Up, you lads! Get out to the yard, there's work to be done. There's an inspection in the morning, so you'll be given fresh clothes before the bishop arrives. Now out! All of you! remind me of the stories I've heard about the Indians. Whenever they'd attack a supply carriage or a homestead, there'd always be repercussions. They'd take the children and sell them to rich families down south. The Indian children, being savages, can't speak none. They serve their purpose. You see, they're ornaments, trophies, just like you. Now, I know you'd never do anything to harm me, because there ain't nothing for you to fight for. You are nothing. Just like that. Do you understand, Mason Harvey? I can do whatever I want to you, and nobody cares enough to stop me. You are my property. All right. Mr. Wesson, take Mason out to the yard to join the others. No extra blankets and no food until it gets dark again.
Yes, Mother Helen. You out of your goddamn mind. There's an inspection today. You wouldn't get a mile out of here without being Ace. Howdy, Sister Betsy. Just seems like it gets colder and colder out there.
I'm giving the boys an extra blanket each from the attic. They sure earned it.
That they have. Listen, I think you should take some time off.
What do you mean take off? Why?
I feel as though something bad is going to happen, and I don't want you here when it does.
Something bad. Are you feeling all right, Mr. Wesson?
Yes, I'm fine. It's just take one of the horses and ride on south for the day. Just forget about this place. Can you do that for me?
You know I'd do anything for you, Pete. But what's this about?
You ever feel as though you're on the brink of the next step of your life?
Are you sure you aren't coming down with something?
Listen to me, Betsy. We both know you don't belong here. Just live your life. Go find a man. Get married. Just leave this place.
Does this have something to do with the boys?
It has everything to do with the boys. Now, just go. Howdy, fellas.
Mr. Wesson?
What you all getting up to?
Just finished in the yard for the day. Back at it in the morning. So we're going to have a bit of a rest.
All right. Listen, I need to go check on them fences. Don't reckon I'll be back for a half hour. Right?
All right, Mr. Wesson.
Thanks for checking on the fences. All right, you all remember the plan? Yeah. Okay, let's do this.
Dean Rose, what are are you doing awake? You need your sleep for work tomorrow.
I ain't gonna work for you no more. You bitch!
What did you say to me?
Ain't none of us gonna work for you for one more damn second!
What is the meaning of this? Let go of me, little shit!
Oh, this is the only thing we've ever done in this damn orphanage that'll ever have a meaning.
Mr. Wesson! Sister Betsy!
They can't hear you none, sweetheart.
What are they doing for all 5 of you on the gallows in the next town? 'Cause that's where I see you right now.
I don't think I can do this.
Harry, calm down!
What if there's another way?
We're doing this, Harry. Mason, quick.
Come on, Mason!
I can't do
Harry,
this.
Harry, wait! Oh, damn it, what now?
Your friends don't have faith in you, Mason Harvey.
Mason, do it.
I knew this was a bad idea, Charlie. It's going too far. She's an old woman.
An old woman? Have you forgot what you've done to us? And to Mason?
Now, if you want this so bad, you'll do it yourselves. I need to find Harry and get out of here.
Your plan is falling apart around you, Charlie Rose.
Why are you here, Beth? I told you to go.
You killed her.
It's all right, Sister Betsy. We won't hurt you.
Mr. Wesson, I just want to say
No, Charlie, you didn't deserve anything that happened to you here. You sure as hell don't deserve to get punished for this.
No! I've forgiven some bad sins in my time, Jean Rose. But I cannot overlook this.
We ain't asking you to forgive, but just to understand.
Look, I got horses outside, 6 of them.
There you both are, finally.
We're coming with you. We've decided it's best if we stick together. Right, Harry?
Right.
Well, you're coming with us. You need to go all in.
Come on, let's get out of here. You good?
Go on, Charlie. Stay there. Betsy, this is my calling. This is the brink. I couldn't watch him suffer any longer. I had to do something. Look, do as I say. Go find that man. Get married. Leave this place. You won't have to worry about them any longer. I'll look after them.
I know you will. Don't put them before you. You're a better man than Charlie, or any of them.
No promises.
Morning, Pa.
Morning, Annie. You swiped the path to the old house?
Oh, I sure did. It's a mighty fine day out there today.
Good. The bride and the groom will be here soon.
Who are they anyway, Pa? Why did you here of all places?
I'm not sure. The bride came in a few weeks back asking that we close the whole place just for them.
They rich ones?
You'd think I'd close the whole bar for an entire day if they weren't.
I suppose not. Pa?
Yes, darling.
Remember you saying that people with too much money can be dangerous?
Yes, but that was for people from the north. That girl was a southerner.
She may be a southerner. What about the rest then? What
Well,
they ain't?
that's why I keep a gun beneath the bar. Anyway, you seen blind Mrs. Blackwood this morning?
I told her we'd be closed all day when I met her last night. Maybe the old lady actually listened for once.
Nah, she'd be here whether we're closed or not. Oh, and the bride told me there'll be some soldiering types with her for this. Maybe you'll take a fancy to one.
Don't you be making any plans for me, Pa?
Well, ain't this just a peach of a place?
It sure is, Charlie. Name's P. Wesson. These are my friends, Charlie Rose and Mason Harvey.
Pleasure to meet y'all.
Howdy.
I'm Chester, and this is my daughter Anne.
You're with the Dean Rose party. Which one of y'all is the best man?
That'd be me. You know, it's an odd feeling watching your baby brother get married before you.
Here you go, Mr. Rose, on the house.
To Mr. and Mrs. Dean Rose. Cheers.
So, where are you guys from?
Ever hear the expression, home is where you hang your hat?
So, different places then.
Here, there. First California, then Nevada.
Say, any of you three armed?
Well, of course. I mean, I myself feel naked without an arm.
That's understandable, Mr. Rose, but I'm afraid it's a bar policy that no patrons is to carry weapons on the property. We had a nasty encounter with some outlaws a few years back.
Makes sense. Hand them over, boys.
Thank you, Mr. Rose.
Thanks, darling.
You should have, sir.
Come on, Mason. Today of all days.
Oh, don't worry about me, young one. I don't carry.
I'll put these at back for safekeeping until you're leaving.
Oh, if it isn't man of the hour.
Would have started without me, I see.
You can't blame me for that, Dee. Boys will be boys.
Mr. and Mrs. Rose, welcome to Hart Saloon. I am Chester, and this is my daughter, Annie.
Well, you cleared them out. How much that cost you?
That doesn't matter right now, Dee. It's our wedding day. Enjoy it. I thought you said to be soldiers.
This is what the bride said. Go get the groom's gun.
Excuse me, sir. We don't allow guns in here. Outlaws and all that.
All right, just keep it safe.
Both of them, Dean?
I swear, those best be spotless by the time they get back to me.
But just be careful, Dee. Here, have another.
You hear from the other two?
They said they wouldn't make the ceremony when they last contacted me, but they should be here soon.
You gonna be civil with them?
Generally means yes.
All right. Well, I don't want you causing trouble in front of these kind and loving people.
Look, Pa. It's those soldiers you're on about.
Boys.
Shit, fellas. Why'd you have to come in uniform?
You didn't tell me there was Yanks!
Yes, sir. There ain't nothing wrong with being on the winning side.
Oh, we're just here to celebrate with our friends. It's an important day for all of us.
I ain't having no glucose in my bar! Honey, get away from him!
Hold on just a minute. I paid you a lot of money to ensure that me and my friends are safe in your tavern.
That was before you brought politics into it!
Politics ain't got nothing to do with equality, old man.
You shut your dirty mouth before I shoot your blue tongue out!
I wouldn't threaten them, Mr. Hart. I've seen them take down twice their number.
You'd be quiet too. You're lucky I don't land you all on the street for being pally with their kind.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. You have no idea what we're capable of. Right, fellas?
Yeah.
Right, fellas?
Yeah.
Now, we'll obey your no-gun policy as long as you do. You wouldn't want young Annie here getting caught in the crossfire, would you?
They can stay as long as they want.
Take your hands down and take a seat.
Thank you, man. You look wonderful, by the way.
Gentlemen, may I introduce you to my new wife, Jackie May Gleeson, or Rose now, I suppose.
I like her already.
Y'all don't talk like any of the other rich folk I've met.
Ain't like any of the rich folk you've ever met, Annie.
I'm up, Mother Helen. Shit. Sorry, folks. Tired from the ceremony, you know.
It's all right, Charlie. Me and Tom need to leave soon anyhow.
Sorry, folks. Duty calls, after all.
You wouldn't know duty if it slapped you in the face.
Don't speak to them like that, Pa. You had to fight just as much as any of our boys.
You know, before you go, I'd just like to make a speech.
Charlie, maybe you're not in the bed.
It's fine. Let him speak.
All right. We leave after the speech.
Jackie May, Dean, I ain't never seen two people as suited to each other as you two out here today. Now, when I first met you, Jackie, I wasn't really sure if I could hand over my brother to you. After all, we've been through so much, and there ain't nobody in this world that I love more than him. But once I got to know you, Jackie, I saw you were good for him. Frankly, you were better for him than I've ever been. I know you'll take care of him, Jackie. I know you'll go on to have lots of my nieces and nephews for me to love even more. So I'd just like to say, on behalf of all of us here, welcome to the family. To Mr. and Mrs. Dean Rose. Cheers.
Here.
That was nice, Charlie.
Oh, Dean, Mrs. Blackwood. Nice to see that you're still moving around.
Try my best, Chester. A glass of water, if you have it.
Coming right up, love.
The place feels quite empty today, Chester.
There's a private party today. A wedding.
A wedding? How exciting. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you, ma'am.
Who is that woman?
That's Mrs. Blackwood, Mr. Wesson.
Blackwood? She got a first name?
Betsy, sir. She's a regular. Blind as a bat and all alone now. Sad, really.
Did you say Betsy?
It can't be. Annie said she was a mischief.
Why? Who's Betsy?
There was a nun back when we were kids. Sister Betsy. Took care of us. Good Christian.
Oh, hold on, boy. Sister Betsy McCarthy?
Been a long time since someone called me that, stranger.
It has been a long time.
I know that voice. Pete Wesson.
Very safe.
The voice.
Right here, darling.
All of us.
Hi, Sister Betsy.
Don't be calling me that no more. I left that life behind as soon as you boys were out of reach. Well, which one of you is getting married?
That'd be me, Betsy. Dean Rose. Jackie, get over here.
Hello, Mrs. Blackwood. Jackie B. Dean's wife. She sounds pretty, Mr. Wesson. Is she pretty?
Yes, she is.
What about little Mason Harvey? Is he with you?
Mason.
Still that sweet boy I knew. Still files him now. Smell like tobacco now, though. Anywho, don't let me put her down on your celebration. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, Miss.
If it's all right with you, Sister Betsy, I'd like to speak with you some more.
That Charlie Rose I hear.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope you still ain't stealing loaves of bread.
No, long past that.
I'm glad. I never did like when you got in trouble. Especially because that brother of yours was usually right there by your side. You must be so proud of him.
I am. He's become a better man than I could ever hope to be. Which is why I'm sitting here talking to you, actually. Last time we spoke, I turned on you. You, who have been so kind to us all those years of St. Adams.
Apologies accepted. Now, drink up that water and sober up, and then go check on your brother.
Well, what have you been doing all this time, Betsy?
Well, after St. Anthony's, I took your advice. I got married to a rancher down the road named Wild Blackwood. I was searching for a man who looked like you, and he came closest. We tried for children. There was always something stopping us. In the end, well, Wild caught a virus 3 winters ago and passed.
Betsy, I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say it. Grief got me where I am today. Moonshine don't help none, especially if it ain't made properly.
We hadn't left you at that orphanage. You wouldn't be here.
Exactly, Mr. Wesson. I wouldn't be.
Were you two in Tennessee a few years back?
For the Battle of Shiloh, you mean? Yeah, we were there.
Don't pander to them, Annie.
We're simply doing our job, Miss Hart.
Something funny, Mason?
Yeah. You got something to say, or are you still holding your silence?
He didn't mean nothing by it.
Yeah, he's just a little drunk.
Is it because I like this shitstorm with the posse? Is it because I did something with my life that actually mattered? Is it because I saved people's lives instead of killing them?
Mr. Hughes, what is he talking about?
Come on, Tom. You're scaring the young woman.
Oh, we're all friends, right? We had a good thing going. And today, I saw a glimmer of that again. So I asked myself, why the hell did it end? Then, I remember.
That is enough, Tom!
No, Dean, it ain't. This is long overdue. You want to know what happened, Mason? You did! We never went far enough for you back then, did we? That day, Sacramento, 61. You know how many people we killed? Because I lost count of
We
corpses.
did not need to talk about this now, Tom.
Where and when else will this be discussed? Everything was going cleanly that day. We were in and we were out. And we had the money. But you opened fire, Mason. You put all of us in danger. And it was a fucking miracle that we survived. I went back to check if he was still alive. And he was just standing there. Do you want to know what he did next, girl? He smiled. I had never seen that man smile before. And I ain't since. But there he was. Grinning from ear to ear, covered in blood, and surrounded by bodies. Here's what I think. You've been through shit. Nobody's debating that. But you gotta stop blaming the entire fucking world for it. Don't you turn your
Come, you son of a bitch!
Oh,
Not on these boys, you idiots! Guys, come on.
Boys, bring it up!
What's happening, Pete? Please don't tell me they're hurting each other.
Don't
Mason!
Betsy, I'm putting an end to
Mason!
it. Boys, please.
Mason, stop!
Hey!
Don't move another muscle, peacekeeper.
No guns! Hold your horses here, everyone. Now, we do not want a bloodbath. My wife is wearing a pretty white dress after all.
I'm gonna need you to sit down, hun. All of you, sit down! Now!
What is going on?
You ever heard of Wesson's boys, Mr. Hart?
There was a gang, right? Back in California?
Correct. You ever learn any of their names?
Just what the wanted poster call him.
What do the wanted posters call them here in Arizona?
There was Whining, Greg the Bible reader, Two Guns Terrence the highbrow,
Quiet Quinn, too?
the Quiet Quinn, and the Ghost of San Jose.
Well, reckon you can pick them out? Quiet Quinn, the highbrow, the Bible reader, Grinning Greg, Two Gun Terrence. Don't worry if you can't name him, girl. He's just someone they drag around with them. I don't even know his real name.
They say you're their fastest gun. Is that true?
It's true enough, but really this is all just...
I didn't even think you existed. Wesson's boys in my office.
Jackie, what are you doing? What is all this?
Fisty is what they call playing the long game. Y'all have a collective bounty on your heads of over $75,000.
You conniving little bitch. I called you my family. And you betrayed all of us.
That doesn't matter. Not coming from the mouth of Grinning Greg.
So what? You're some kind of bounty hunter?
I wouldn't call myself such. More of an opportunist. And this is the greatest opportunity I've had in a long time. Now, the wanted posters say dead or alive. I'd much rather bring y'all in kicking and screaming. Despite what y'all might think in this moment, I do have a heart. And I do feel somewhat bad for making y'all think I was one of you.
You're gonna pay for this.
You got it backwards, highbrow. I'll be getting paid as soon as I get myself to the sheriff. Which is where you come in, Chester Hart. I'll need a ride into town to bring the sheriff and his deputies here. I reckon bullets are enough to kill him. However, it'll never come to that. Annie, I want you to go out back, take the guns, and throw them down the well. While she's doing that, Chester, I'd like you to place your shooter against blind Mrs. Blackwood's head and keep it there.
I regret calling you pretty now, Mrs. Rose. You're ugly where it counts. These boys won't forget the wrong you did them today.
I don't want no innocent's blood on my hands. What's in it for me?
Oh, believe me, cowboy, neither do I. Guilty blood I can handle, but that of a blind, lonely woman? I'd hate to see that spilled, and I'm sure the boys would agree. If you can keep them here, with the promise of blowing sweet old Betsy's head off if they move, I'll give you $25,000. A third of the total bounty.
You could still do the right thing here, Mr. Hart.
You are all outlaws. I'm doing the right thing.
Pa, what are you doing to Mrs. Blackwood?
I ain't gonna hurt her, Annie. Not unless I have to.
Mr. Hart, the only sensible thing this backstabbing liar has said all day is that Mr. Wesson hasn't done a thing wrong. So if you hold him here, it'll be as a hostage, making you a criminal, Mr. Hart.
He's right. Ain't no pure man than Pete Wesson.
You know, I don't even think she cares.
Would you look at that? He did get to know me after all. Now, if the sheriff wants him, that's all well and good. If you don't, well, we'll figure it out.
God will strike you down for what you've done today.
I doubt it.
believe she sold us out.
She seemed so trustworthy.
Look, there's no point in dwelling on how trustworthy she seemed. All that matters now, she gets what's coming to her.
Not for hanging from gallows.
Not you, Mr. Wesson. And what was the deal with that anyway? She covered for you.
Not sure. I'm trying to figure that out myself.
We ain't gonna be hanged. I'll get us out of here. Now, Mr. Hart. Sit down! Alrighty. I was just about to say that you don't seem like a gambling man. So why gamble on someone like Jackie May?
What are you gabbing about?
Judging by the flag on the bar there, you seem like a man of many principles, strong core beliefs, and honor's probably at the center of that, right?
I just want my daughter.
You had a gun! Mason, what are you doing? I had it under control.
You've done enough shooting the old man, Mason. That's enough blood for the day, don't you think?
Let go of me. Please. I won't tell anybody.
Mason, give the girl over. She's terrified.
Pete, what's going on?
Just stay right there, Betsy. It's all right.
She ain't a threat, Mason. Let the girl go.
Mason, please.
What do you plan to do? Shoot him in front of Betsy and Pete? Put down the gun, Mason. Give the girl over to Tom.
What good is she to you? No, we do not do that.
Mr. Hughes. Mrs. A, what's he gonna do to me?
Look, pal, I put up with enough of your shit in my life. This is going too far.
Mason Harvey, whatever's happening right now, you can still come back from this. I believe in you, sir. You still have a chance to come back from the edge.
Mason!
Shit! I failed him. Mason, I failed. I was meant to bring him back to reality.
You didn't fail him, Mr. Wesson. He failed himself.
Either way, we gotta make moves soon, fellas.
We need a plan. Tom, what are we doing?
I don't know.
Charlie, what's the plan?
I don't know.
Here's what we're gonna do. Harry, Tom, you're gonna ride like the wind, easterly. Those uniforms should make it easy for you to get by without anyone asking questions. And you're gonna take Mr. Weston with you. He ain't on any flyers or lists. He should be fine.
What about you and Charlie?
We're gonna do what we do best.
What's
Bullshit our way out.
Don't I get a say in this?
Mr. Wesson, with all due respect, you've been taking hits for us our entire goddamn lives. Please, let us take this one from you.
I gotta say, it doesn't feel right leaving you two here like this.
It won't be the last time we meet, Harry. I promise. Charlie, grab Chester's gun and go watch the door.
What about Betsy?
Don't worry about me. I'll look after the roses while you're gone.
Don't feel right leaving you like this.
What? We found each other again after last time. What? Can we do it again? Our paths seem destined to cross many times, old friend.
You sure about this, kid?
We'll watch each other's back.
Charlie?
Yeah. Hugs and kisses. Now get your asses on the move. I see dust on the horizon.
I just wanted to say, I love you both.
Love you too, Pete. Now, Betsy, I'm gonna hide you in here behind the bar. Whatever happens, do not make a sound, all right?
You're beginning to sound like a real boss man, Dean Rose. Don't worry, you won't hear a peep.
I think my travels end here, brother.
Don't say that. Find a way out. We always do.
All right, here we go. Riders and come. Hey, Dean,
Yes, Charlie?
proud of you.
Sheriff, they're in here. God bless you both, boy.
You two step out from behind that there table. I want to make this as painless as possible.
Painless for who?
Come on, D. I cut you a deal. You'll be out in a couple of weeks.
And why should we trust you?
Because I'm the only person you know in the room.
Oh, that's right, ain't it? I ain't introduced myself, have I? My name is Sheriff Richard K. That there's Oscar Cardiff, my best deputy.
Good day to you both, man. Why don't you come on up and we put some names to faces?
It's safety, I promise. You just gotta talk to him for a few minutes.
Come on, outlaws. Easy, easy, outlaw. Now, you must be Dean Rose then, judging by that there suit, which will make you Charlie Rose or Grim Gregg. Which you prefer, outlaw?
Well, that depends, Mr. Sheriff. Which will get me less jail time?
You're a funny man, ain't you? Now, I was informed there were 6 of you by Jackie May Rose.
Well, I don't know where she pulled that figure from, Sheriff.
Oh, I can name a few body parts, Dean.
Where are they, D? Whoever killed Mr. Hart, that's another...
Why are you even still talking? I ain't got nothing left to say to you.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Rose. In my humble opinion, women should be seen and not heard.
What's your name again?
Oscar Carter, sir.
Oscar Carter. Shut the fuck up! She may be one backstabbing bitch, but she's still my wife. Don't you say another fucking word.
Well, looks like we got quite the negotiating party going on here.
We can say the same to you two gentlemen. Now, you ready to discuss this like men?
Yeah. What you proposing?
All right. The original agreement between me and Mrs. Rose over here was that I paid her for 5 of you. So best case scenario, she's getting paid for the capture or killing of Tom Day, Harry Hughes, and Mason Harvey. Now, we agreed that although I'll be taking you two scumbags in for a little while, your godforsaken lives will be spared and your bounties will be forfeit.
Oh, why, thank you kindly, sweetheart. At least the last 2 years were a complete lie.
So, the deal is this. We come with you, nice and peaceful life. Is that it, Sheriff?
Yes.
Well, boys, I came here expecting to rack up 5, maybe even 6 high-profile arrests. So, as you can imagine, outlaw, I'm quite goddamn disappointed. How's about as reparations for the reputation I'm about to lose when I walk out of this here saloon? I kill one of you fucks. The other one can rot in a cell for all I care.
This was not the deal!
You're damn right this wasn't the deal, Jackie. You promised me all of Wesson's boys. You only gave me the ones you didn't want to be paid for.
May I speak, sir?
Oh, you're a funny man, ain't you?
I have a better idea. I surrender my gun. We yield to you. Now you know you cannot shoot 2 unarmed men and call it justice, Sheriff.
Oh, that's right, Charlie. How it'll be extremely illegal if Sheriff Richard...
Come on! I don't think so, Homer. You got any last words, boy? You're gonna have to speak up.
Go fuck yourself.
Sheriff, what are you doing?
Seems like the 2 of you need a proper introduction. My name is Sheriff Richard K, and I ain't like any lawman you've seen before. I don't bend to the law, boy.
You're
It
gonna
bends
get
to
yours.
me.
You're gonna get yours. You hear me?
I'm the doom of Wesson's boys, and you were witnessing the beginning of your end, Charlie Rose. Take him away, Oscar. He ain't gonna see sunlight for a long time.
Is our business concluded, Sheriff?
You left 5 deadly outlaws under the watch of an old man and his goddamn daughter. Do you really believe that the Rose brothers were above the law after a fuck up like that? You're a damn lucky bitch that I let your Charlie Rose friend live out the rest of his days in a cell. I've got to go. I got 4 more of his up to find and finish.
I was the woman of the cloth, Mrs. Rose. You've been there the entire time? Oh. I forgive you for what you did to him, because I know my reconciliation will be of little solace. You will never forgive yourself for your grief. I needed him. I always needed him. But he died, never told it was true. Least you can do is bury him out back by the well. I don't think I deserve to. Oh, Mrs. Rose, you're the only person who deserves it.
Each of a place. Sure is, Charlie. Sure is.
I'm hoping your Pete Wesson and we're going to have a problem.
No. Yes. We're not going to have a problem. Pete.
You're the one looking to buy the saloon?
Yes. Who may I have the pleasure of speaking to?
Marie Helen, my father's Anthony.
Apologies, my lady, I didn't
A
realize.
man will suffice. Perhaps even Marie someday if you do manage to take this place off my father's hands.
Man. Pardon my speaking. Probably not the standard you're used to.
Actually, it's quite refreshing, to be honest, Mr. Wesson. What made you want to buy this place? It's a bit dismal, no?
Well, yeah. Man's got to make a living.
You have heard what happened to the last fellow who owned it. He was shot, and his daughter was kidnapped. It's all one of the outlaws was buried out back. My father is having some men come by to remove the grave, I believe.
I'd like to keep it, I think it gives the place a sort of character.
Suit yourself, Mr. Wesson.
Pete Wesson, I presume.
Yes, sir.
Anthony Hallow, the landlord of these parts. This is my saloon. And this is my wife, Eve.
How do you do?
And I believe you've already met my daughter, Marie.
Yes, she mentioned you reckon you were going to get rid of the grave out back?
Well, yes, but that depends entirely up to you. If you want the place still, I mean, it's a little bit run down at the moment. It's not been open for the last 6 months or so, but in its day, it was a real gem of a saloon.
It was.
Oh, you've been here before, Mr. Wesson?
Yeah, a couple of years back with some friends here.
Then you must have seen Chester Hodge's fence. You are still interested then?
Yeah, I believe the agreed amount was $600.
Yes, that's correct, Mr. Wesson. Sorry, no, $530, Mr. Wesson.
Oh.
If you don't have it with you at the moment, that's fine, but...
consider the extra an investment.
Oh? An investment in what?
Well, I'm going to need a new sign, aren't I? Not Hearts anymore. It's, well, Wesson's.
Well, there you have it. Well, Mr. Wesson, welcome to your new saloon. Well, I believe we should be getting back. Supper will be almost ready for us.
It was nice speaking with you, Mr. Wesson. We shall meet again.
My parents may see people with large amounts of money and think that Carrie's a trustworthy man, but that's rarely the case these days.
You ask him where I got it from?
I don't think you need to tell me, Mr. Wesson. The only reason someone with that amount of money would buy a place as desolate as this is if they didn't want to be found.
Even if I did tell you my story, I don't think you'd believe it.
Try me.
I used to work at an orphan, well, volunteer. I got close to some of the boys there. They weren't in the best conditions. So I liberated. I watched them burn it down.
I know I asked about your past, but I don't think I was meant to know about that.
No, I think you were. I'm a man that believes everything happens for a reason. Your father, Anthony, Christian?
Oh, well, we all are.
You should know he shares the same name as the patron saint of lost articles. Same name as that orphanage, St. Anthony. Well, taking care of the boys there was like having one of those, what do you call them, having an
epiphany?
Yeah, one of them. Well, when I lost them boys, I lost myself. Took finding another Anthony to find my place.
You may not have a family, Mr. Wesson, but it seems to me you appreciate it more than most. You did what was thought was right by your telling. Ain't nobody can blame you for that, least of all me. And I'm glad you found yourself again. And don't worry about what you told me. I can keep it.
Hello? I heard voices. Been a long time since voices were heard in big balls.
Mrs. Betsy Blackwood, is it?
Can't be.
Sure is, old timer.
Old timer? I think you're confusing me with somebody else, Pete Weston. But what are you doing here?
Well, I bought the place. Welcome to Wesson's.
You bought? With what money? Where are the boys?
Tom and Parry became bounty hunters. They're across the country somewhere. The good ones from what I hear. I haven't seen Mason since. Charlie, well, I heard he hung, but I don't know the truth to that.
That poor man never stood a chance once Dean was gone. They were never meant to live without each other.
Well, all that's left for me now is to make a living. Clean.
You did what you could for him, Pete. You should be proud of yourself. I'm sure they were all grateful to you, even if some of them never said it.
10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not be gay in such a Jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth to show me had brought when on my couch I lie and vacant or in pensive mood. They flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with thee. I did it.
You did.
I did.
I knew you had it in you.
Thank you so much.
It's the least I could do, Pete. You've been such a good friend to all of us.
Marie is lucky to have you and Anthony. Y'all great parents.
Family really is important to you, isn't it, Pete?
Family's the strongest thing there is when done right. My parents, they weren't very good people. My daddy, he would beat my mother within an inch of her life. It didn't hit none of my siblings or me, but, you know. Just made it so you didn't want to stay.
How is our humble scholar getting along today?
Well,
Very well. He's read Wordsworth without so much as a hesitation.
it was mostly Eve's too, sir.
Wordsworth, huh? Are you a fan of poetry, Mr. Wesson?
Well, wasn't when I got here, but I don't know. I think it's the poet's experiences for me to understand. You know? I actually tried writing something myself, you know.
You wrote a poem.
Well, I tried.
Do you have it here with you? I'd love to hear it.
Just gotta lose myself in the words, right?
That's right.
I do not speak well enough to liken you to the moon or to the summer. Instead, let me place you in a field of flowers, of Cherokee roses without number. The old mystics of the native tribes would weep their way west, where their tears fell, the roses would grow best. They'd lost their children, they'd lost their way. Quite like me, for them, night turned to day and day turned to night in a cycle impossible to fight. You are my Cherokee rose. You grew along my path. When the sun shines, you are happy, but neither do you fear the rain's wrath. Although I look back to dark days come and gone, when I see you, all I see is the one. I will follow you always, to heaven or to hell. You are my Cherokee rose, and you bloom where my tears fell. Y'all hated it. Miss Gallo?
Pete, did you write all of that yourself?
Well, it was mostly Wordsworth's doing. I think I was scrapping. I'll try it again another time.
Don't you dare, Pete. That was phenomenal. I never knew you had it in you.
Like to think I did. Very well done, Mr. Wesson. Wordsworth was proud to be such an inspiration. Anthony, love, why don't we go for a walk? It's such a lovely day outside. I'd hate to miss it.
Oh, but I was going to have a drink.
Anthony.
Oh, right.
think we'll go for a walk.
Wesson, you've no idea how pure you are, do you? Pete, I found something.
Not gonna lie, Clyde. Thought we lost you in that storm back there.
I didn't think you'd follow me through it.
I'm not somebody to give up because of a little rain. Do you know who we are?
Who you are?
Where the hell did you come?
Oh, good. You got him.
Where the hell were you?
I ain't as young as I used to be, Tom. Some of us actually feel ourselves aging.
Am I supposed to know who you are?
I'm Jameson. This is Hobbs. You may have heard of us.
Jameson and Hobbs? Nah, you're old men.
Old man. I'm 45. Hobbs ain't even that yet.
I feel every second of it right now.
You're supposed to be professional.
We're doing this for money. That makes us professionals. It ain't difficult.
I ain't going anywhere with you, Jameson.
Listen, right now we're taking you in alive. Don't make us change our minds.
Oh, and what difference does it make if I'm dead as soon as I get to town?
Now, we don't know if that's the case. You run with a gang, don't you? Surely one of them will try to pay your bail, cause a stay of execution.
What do you think a gang is exactly? We don't go around holding hands, saving lives. Nobody's gonna stick their necks out for me.
Who's your boss?
I ain't telling you nothing.
Oh, so you're still loyal enough to her? Not to say her name?
That's right.
So it is a woman.
I didn't say that.
All right. Now I think we've enough information to narrow it down.
Yeah, we should get going. Where's the next town?
It's Narmagosa, known by the locals as Death Valley Junction.
Is that where I think it is?
Yep. It's where Jackie rode off to, the day we lost the Rose brothers.
Evening, gentlemen. Richard Kay, Sheriff of Amagosa. This year's Oscar Cardiff, my best deputy. Good night. Please, gentlemen, have a seat. Make yourself at home. Take some scotch. Just got it imported last month. I feel as though I know you both, gentlemen.
I think you're mistaken, sir. I don't recall us meeting.
Funny that.
What's that you got there, sir?
This here is a recruitment record book that I pilfered from my old army barracks back in, must have been 52. There ain't nobody I respect more than a soldier, somebody who stands up for what they believe in, ain't afraid to get their hands dirty. Now that I do think about it, I think I do recognize you both from the army. And when there's a soldier in need, I'll stop nothing to help him out. Ain't that right, Oscar? That's right, sir.
Good for you. We did fight, sir. Yes.
Have you found her names yet, sir?
Hang on now, boy. I'm still looking. I ain't found your names, boys. That's real strange, that. Tell me, when did you say you served?
Up until 1865, sir. Final year of the war.
65. Well, I mean, there could be a discrepancy in the records. It is plausible if you did serve during the war years. Anyway, gentlemen, I hear you're bounty hunters, so tell me about your bounty hunting days. It's good to see veterans up on their feet.
Indeed, sir. We've been bounty hunting the last 15 years. We racked up some pretty good ones.
Oh, I say you boys have had some adventures. There's one case that never really leaves me. Y'all ever hear of a Wesson's boys?
That one rings a bell, but it was open and shut, right?
Not exactly. We got some of them, but most got away.
Oh, it ain't for lack of trying, boys. They were Rose brothers. We got them. They were tried and hanged. Fairly but strictly, but god damn. Those Wesson's boys, they never failed to elude me.
I never heard of them.
Oh, you wouldn't have heard of them, boy. Those weren't their real names on the posters.
How did you find out their names?
We had a mole, and she knew them very well.
And gentlemen, she knew their faces. You two best have a look.
Motherfucker.
Pretty lifelike sketches, don't you think, Tom?
Why don't you sit down, Harry? Listen what the man's got to say.
I ain't gonna hurt you, boys. Hear me out. Take a seat. Don't waste that scotch. Now, gentlemen, consumption is quite a painful disease. Now, I set out in life to do one thing, and one thing only, and that's to find or kill all the Wesson's boys. Now, like I said, them Rose brothers, they are a hard catch, and they never let logic overbear their bravado. But you two, though, you're smarter than that, aren't you, boy? You know when you're caught.
If there's a point to all this, you'd best say it now.
Yeah. No more bullshit.
Way I see it, boys, you two served your country. So I got a soft spot for you that I ain't got for no other outlaws. What I'm proposing, gentlemen, is that you two become my deputies. I'll pay you full wage. I'll give you power. I'll give you influence. I'll pay your food. All I want in return are two things. I want you to find me, Mason Harvey, and bring me the ghost of San Jose.
So we have a choice.
Not really.
Dean, I can't. What if...
Carter weren't lying when he was saying you sleep all the time and talk to yourself. But I wasn't expecting to see both at once.
Apologies. I get very realistic dreams.
Dean, was he your brother?
Yeah. My kid brother.
What happened?
Justice.
Well, look, when we get out of here, we're gonna go...
We? There is no we. I did want justice once. That was before I had 15 years to dwell on. You see, I once knew someone who had awful things done to him for the first act of his life. For revenge, he killed some. Now, at the time when he did that, we all saw it as justice. I mean, if she had anyone that cared about her, they would have seen it as a reason to act revenge on her. Like when my brother died. Justice for some, and a reason for revenge for others. Vicious circle is called a circle for a reason. Keeps going back around. And it don't ever end.
Howdy, partners. Getting all cozy, are we?
Speak of the devil, look who appeared.
That's right, Clyde. I am the devil. And you're in hell. Seems I've spilt your foods. Looks like you're gonna have to share. Or lick it off the ground. Either way, I don't care.
Well, I had that shit for breakfast. You work away.
Now, Mr. Rhodes, you go ahead. You need it more than I do.
Look at these old women getting along. I am Oscar fucking Carter! When I tell you to lick something off the ground, you lick it off the ground. Or I will kill you like I killed your dumbass brother.
Howdy.
Butch, you crazy son of a bitch.
Hi, Clyde. And this is the famous Charlie Rose I've heard so much about.
You're his rescue
Butch.
party? Where's the rest of them?
They're outside. They have orders to talk to a couple of housing. Buy us all some time to talk.
Orders? What is this, the army?
I run it like one.
You?
In the flesh. I ain't staying long though.
Well, I've done enough staying for both of us, so don't you worry about that.
Charlie, you know I never meant for any of this to happen.
I don't want to hear it. Stop telling me why I'm here, and start with why you are.
I didn't even know you were alive until a couple of years ago. As soon as I found out, I started mobilizing. I tried to get caught to make sure the rumors were true, and then I had this made. A copy of the cell door key. When you're ready to leave tomorrow, that'll get you out.
There's a lot banking on Richard K's pride. If he don't send his men out to find you, I ain't getting out. There'll be too many of them.
Have you met Richard K? His pride isn't going to be an issue.
I just don't want to break out of here just to get shot to shit.
That's not gonna happen. You'll have Clyde with you too. He'll help you get to our camp out in the desert.
Whoa, whoa. The camp? What makes you think I want to go anywhere near there?
Think about it, Charlie. There'll be food, comfort you ain't had in over a decade.
Yeah, well, I ain't going to your camp. Once I'm outside of this town, I'm bidding Clyde here a farewell.
Butch, take some riders and start causing trouble on the other side of town.
You got it, Miss Rose.
They call you Miss Rose?
I didn't want to abandon the name.
Did that back then. The day you got it.
And I've suffered every day for it since. Look, Charlie, I just want to help you when you get out. I could use someone with your experience back at camp. That was always the plan, even back then.
I ain't like that. I ain't an outlaw no more.
What?
You spared Mr. Wesson back then, because you know he never done nothing wrong. Now, it's time I start learning from him, instead of just pretending to.
I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah, well, neither did I.
You get him out, you hear me? Do whatever it takes.
I'll get him out, boss.
We square?
You know, if you had said that to me the day they put me in here, you'd be dead before you finished that sentence.
Charlie, I'm sorry for everything.
I know.
I buried him. Word is Pete Weston bought the bar. If you ain't coming with me, that summer you'll be safe.
Dealt with. Everything's under control.
You two were outlaws once. You best goddamn tell me how this is possible.
Well, sure ain't it obvious.
Enlighten me, Mr. Hughes.
You had a lot of foot traffic coming through this week. Where they were, they knew that.
How many of them did you say there were?
Over 24, and there's about 6 taverns in Aragosa. So Mr. Hughes is teary heads up.
There you go.
Cardiff, cancel that goddamn ceremony and gather the riders. I want you to find where they came from and show them what it means to cross Aragosa.
Yes, sir.
That ain't a good idea, sir.
You don't get to tell me what I do and don't do, boy. I saved your life, outlaw. So you best follow my lead when I give an order.
All I'm saying is it'd be easier if we knew who we were fighting.
You mean to tell me that you know who these men are?
Got my suspicions. A prisoner, Glad Snake Eye. I reckon they're one and the same. I think we both know who's leading those bandits. You just don't want to admit it to yourself.
She ain't been seen in months. She's probably on the other goddamn side of this country by now.
We're trying to help you, Sheriff. That's what you brought us here for.
I brought you here to bring me Mason Harvey and find me the ghost of San Jose. Everything else, you leave up to myself and Deputy Cardiff. Am I understood, gentlemen?
Yes, Sheriff.
Howdy, fellas. You didn't forget about me now, did you?
Oh, get off me!
How the hell did he...
Clyde, listen to me. If you put down the gun and give the sheriff to me or Tom, I promise we can look past this.
Don't be stupid, Clyde. There's no way you can get out of this.
It ain't about me, that's the point.
Charlie? Oh, my God. Boss, you better save me this moment, Clyde. The Wessons boys are back together.
You shut up! Out of the way, where the sheriff gets led. Follow me, Mr. Rose.
We heard you died.
Yeah, I heard that too. So, you've just forgotten then, have you?
Forgotten what?
What he did. What he did to Dee. How he did it.
Oh, Charlie, the sheriff?
I served out justice, boy. There ain't no lie about that.
Stay behind me, Mr. Rose. Relax. They ain't gonna do nothing. Not after he tells me.
Tell him what, boy.
The truth about the day my brother died!
I served out justice. There ain't no lie about that. They came to me unarmed, and they expected me to absolve them. They were naive. Those poor bastards. Oh, I seen your eyes now, Mr. Rose. It ain't naivety, it's clarity. You know I served out justice that night, boy.
Harley, let him go. There ain't no point dying here.
You gonna kill me? Is that it?
No, I would never, but if there's gunfire, you'll have the whole town in your ass in seconds.
He's right, Mr. Rose. We need to go. I'm trying to change, you know? Look, I realize you two probably aren't here by choice. That does not mean you get to give up on what we have!
Don't you think you'd be dead if that was the case?
Maybe. Maybe you just ain't got the guts. Remember when you said that to Mason, Tom? Well, where are your guts now, Harry, huh?
Harry! Do it, boy. You ain't got the guts.
Go, Charlie. Go now before this gets worse. Just go.
Congratulations, Harry. You're a real lawman now. Long live the Union.
Who let you out, Charlie?
Dean did. Even from beyond the grave, he's doing more for me than you two sorry sons of bitches.
overweight.
A compliment. Coming from you. I thought that you only liked virgin girls. In fact, I think I remember you saying I was dirty last time we met.
Now, Mrs. Witt, I may have spoken. I am prone to doing that.
I know what it is. You know how little I want to marry that henchman of yours, and you're just trying to butter me up.
Now, Mrs. Witt, you marrying Deputy Cardiff, marrying Oscar, that's going to bring you up in the world. You'll be on a plantation manor. You better believe that. You have servants to tend your every need.
Is that why you're here? Tell me how many servants I'm gonna have.
No, Miss Witt, it ain't. I came by to make sure that you ain't thinking about anything troublesome.
Well, you know that I'm always thinking troublesome things, Sheriff.
I'm sure you are, Mrs. Witt. Now, your husband-to-be, he's in the corner outside. And he's had far too much to drink. We both know how he gets. He wants to see you, Mrs. Witt. And it'd please both of us if you were to oblige him.
Is he gonna make me disappear like that last time if he doesn't?
She was taken, you know she was taken by him.
Is that what we're saying now?
She's seeing Mrs. Witt. Please.
Fine. Send him in. But I want someone at the door.
Oh, damn. Come on, you Oscar.
Well?
Well? Well, what? You wanted to speak, and here we are speaking.
I want you to come back to my manor early. Tonight or tomorrow.
Well, Oscar, that almost reminds me of a conversation we had back when you were just another client.
It's not like that. I'm going on arranging soon and not sure if I'll be coming back.
What, some desert folks scaring you?
It's not them I'm afraid of. Charlie Rose could be with them, and if he is, I'm already dead.
The Wesson's boys. I'm sure they won't do anything to you unless, of course, you give them cause to. You already have, haven't you?
Are you gonna move from this shithole on nights?
Well, it wouldn't be proper now, would it, Oscar? I didn't think that you need less than properness from a whore.
Ah! You will do as I say! Got such pretty skin. Be ashamed. Somebody broke it.
Go ahead, I dare you. See how far you get before the girls come after you.
What's going on in here?
It's none of your business, Hughes. Get back to the door.
I've done enough watching. I think the lady wishes you leave.
I will leave when I please.
You're drunk, Oscar. Just go home and get some coffee.
What I do with my wife is my own business, Hughes.
I can't think of anything more cowardly than beating on the woman you're planning on swearing yourself to.
Don't look at me. Go on, get out of here. Thank you for that, deputy. But I feel that shit would only make me hate him more.
Come on in.
Evening, miss.
Evening.
Sorry if our colleague startled you. If we had our way, we wouldn't come anywhere near you.
I'll keep a lookout.
What was your name again?
Deputy Tom Day, miss. How would you like a way out of here? Not just the brothel. I mean Amargosa. A way to leave Deputy Cardiff behind? Without the fear he'd come after you?
I've got a good thing going here, deputy. I'm the most frequent courtesan in town. Why would I want to give up an income like that?
As if you don't, you'll suffer for the rest of your life. He won't stop until he has you to himself.
How do you suppose I get out of here if I was considering this without him following me?
That suitcase by the door. It's got enough money to get you to the border, traveling clothes, everything you need.
Well, where would I be going, hypothetically, if I was considering this?
I know a place. It's called Wesson's Tavern. It's just on the Utah border. You'd be safe there. I know you would. Just ask for Pete. Tell him Harry and Tom sent you.
Screw it, I'm out of here. Weston's Tavern, right?
That's right. Head out the back. I'll cover for you.
Thank you, I won't forget this.
Hughes. I had expected Mrs. Witt. I was returning to inform her that Oscar wanted to apologize.
And does he?
Oh, no, you know how he is. Oscar's always going to be Oscar.
Miss Witt had places to be. You want a drink, Sheriff?
Oh, sure, you know me. Help yourself. Oh, damn this sun. Now, Harry, I regret to inform you that you ain't made much progress with Wesson boys, have you?
They're a tough crew to catch.
Oh, Harry, ain't that tough. I found one of them myself.
You found one?
Oh, yeah. Found the ghost himself now. Tom had informed me that when he questioned you about the ghost, you wouldn't even give up his name. Not even a small detail like that. He's Pete Wesson, ain't he? He's been hanging out on that godforsaken tavern of his on the Amargosa border, running his crew under his own goddamn second name. He's got balls, I'll admit that. So close to the county, so close to me. Should have been obvious, really. I just didn't think anybody would be stupid enough to do it. Now, you tell me and tell me true, Harry. Did you know where he was, what he was up to?
Yes.
I'm gonna head down to that tavern once all this here desert business is over. Charlie Rose is hanging out over there with his posse. That's two birds with the one stone. Mason Harvey, your best buddy. I hope that fuck is dead. He ain't been heard of in over a year. Now, I'm willing to give you one last chance, Harry, because I want you there to see your outlaw friend die by my hand. I've got riders looking at that tavern. They're gonna make sure there ain't no comings and goings.
What about Tom?
Funny you should ask that, boy. Your friend Tom will remain acting sheriff of Amargosa till all this blows over. Till then, I'm placing you on a house arrest. Well, brothel arrest. I don't want you getting no cold feet and going off to save those outlaw buddies of yours. See now, Harry, this brings me back to the original question. Are you with me? 100%.
I'm with you. 100%.
That's good, Harry. That is real good. You have yourself a nice day now, Harry. Myself and Oscar will call on you when the time comes. You best believe that, boy. I don't want you to be here.
Oh, believe me, I'd rather not be. When your mind wanders, it always comes back to one thing, don't it? How it felt to plunge that dagger of yours through my chest. Ain't no point throwing it away now. It's done its job. Just like you did yours. For all those wretches that encouraged you on. Those who ran away when you needed them most.
They were afraid.
So were you. You didn't kill me because you were always meant to. Fuck that. You killed me because in that moment they had you convinced it was justice. There's a line between justice and revenge. It's thin. Only at some angles.
What I did was justice. You deserved it. You ruined my life.
I ruined part of it. You did the rest all by yourself. All that killing. That bank in Sacramento. That fight with Tom.
He was going too far. I tried to leave.
But you didn't. Do you enjoy all the things you do, Mason?
No. I want you to go now.
I'll leave on my own terms. I own you. Remember? And I always will. But I'm curious, though. Do you regret that?
I ain't got nothing to say to you.
Not even an apology.
I've said sorry to you 1,000 times over the years. It doesn't stop you coming back.
Why did you do it to me anyway? What was it about?
Things were falling apart. Your pa was dead. The law was coming.
Those ain't reasons.
I needed to feel in control, all right?
There it is. Control. Power. The things you never had over your own life. Things everyone else was always determining for you.
Whatever you say.
What's in that quack, Quinn?
Tobacco.
We both know that ain't true no more. Tobacco ain't strong enough to let you sleep. To let you dream.
I ain't got to explain myself to you.
You don't. Because I am you. Tell me, why do you keep yourself away from people? Why live out here, in the desert, all alone?
Because I hurt people. And they hurt me.
Which one makes you feel more guilty?
Second one. Sounds odd saying it out loud now, but that's what I feel. It's like victim's guilt. It's like, it's what's driving me. It's like everything bad that I've done since that moment. It's just my way of making up for it.
Hey, are you even hearing me? All your shit. We're taking it.
Will you knock it off? He's off his head. Opium, I'd say.
Is that what the smell is? No wonder this guy ain't got no loot. He spent it all.
We need to get back to the ball soon. There ain't nothing here.
Don't he look familiar to you? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before.
Nah, he's just a waster. Come on now, back to Mrs. Rose. Those lawmen are still out looking for us.
Hold on. They wouldn't be if the boss hadn't risked everything for some old highwayman that we never even got to meet. Clyde died for that son of a bitch.
That's right. Butch would be better to lead us.
Don't say that. I think he's...
Oh my god, please don't kill me. Jackie May Rose will come after you for sure. She's gotten out right up the road. I swear to God she'll come looking for you. Thank you, sir. I'll tell her they turned on each other or something.
don't think I'd get very far, judging by the state of these vagrants. The name's Arthur. Look, I'm on my way to a tavern by the name of Wesson. Do you know the place? Really? That's dandy. Do you mind if I stay here for a few days? It's been rough. Can I sit down by the fire, right? I'll stick to my side of it. What do these poor saps do? Hey, I know you got a tongue. Use it for Christ's sake. What are you so afraid of? What are you so afraid of? I see how it is. You've been alone out here too long, right? Something tells me you're alone long before you're out here. I understand, believe me. You don't want to feel and you don't want to be felt. Your way of dealing with that was by cutting yourself off from the world. Mine was by charging people for the luxury of it. It seems I haven't been completely honest with you, my friend. You see, my name is Amy Witt. I'm running from the law and from the man who married me. Unfortunately for us, the one the same. Go on. Say something. Say something hurtful. Say something sexist. Anything's better than silence.
This way, boss. Drilling's right up here. Looks like some sort of camp.
I was expecting we'd at least have found a body by now.
Is that what we're doing? Looking for body?
You know what I meant.
Sure do, boss.
Are you taking a tone with me much?
Come on, you know that ain't my style. Besides, if I did, you just sent me on a pointless errand I wouldn't come back from. Like you did Clyde.
That was not my fault.
Bullshit, Jackie. We've been in this, what, 8 years now? I have never doubted you. Not once. Till the day you learned Charlie Rose was alive. You threw caution to the wind, and every loss we've had since then has been because of it. He wasn't worth saving. It even bothers us to come say thank you afterwards.
That was not the point. I wasn't doing it for a thank you, good day, ma'am. I was doing it for my...
For yourself. And you dragged the rest of us along with you. Now Clyde's dead, the law's on our ass, and we're out here living like fucking animals. Well, for what? So you can make amends with someone you used to know?
You think you can do it better, Butch? You think you can lead all those people back at camp? Huh? Do you? Here I am. Take your shot.
Sorry, old friend. It's your make.
Fuck you. I'm sorry, too. Mason, you've been out there all these years? You don't know what I've been through these last few days, Mason. It's been insane. I met Charlie. I got him out. I sent him back to Pete. You could go to him, mate. Family reunion. You don't want to do this, Mason. I did not just get my right-hand man for this! You still ain't talking? Not even to this new friend of yours. I ain't taking that. We both know what happens if I do.
Mason, maybe. What did you do to him?
What?
What did you do to him?
I stabbed him in the back. I'll admit to that. Good friend of his died as a result. My husband, Dean Rose.
Dean Rose? And you said you met Charlie. Wait, you're Mason Harvey? Quiet friend they called you.
A living legend, girl.
Did he deserve it?
What?
Did he deserve what you did to him?
To be truthful, I'm still waiting to find out. No. I said no! I made amends!
you know who'll be there? I'll go watch the road. Someone ought to heard that.
That is some dangerous thinking right there, old friend. I mean, look what lack of that got me. And her.
You know all about dangerous thinking.
I would. Or at least I did.
I've missed you a whole lot, brother.
Don't you get too comfortable. I can't stay long.
You never can.
Those drugs, they just make your imagination run wild. A fleeting thought like myself just has to keep up.
Come on, sit down.
So, what's the broad's name?
Amy. She saved my life. I was gonna end it, you know? She came in just in the nick of time.
Yeah, she's pretty, but, you know, pretty faces, they ain't done nothing for us.
This time's different, Dean. She understand.
And what? You gonna tell her that? You ain't got the courage. Believe me, the sooner that she's gone, the better.
You know, I've been doing shitty stuff my entire life. Most of the time you were doing them right along with me, so it felt justified, but that day in the tavern,
the day you raped that girl?
Yeah. Yeah, I did that bad thing that day because I wanted to. All those days that Pete spent just talking to me alone, making sure I was on the way up. None of that mattered in that moment. I did that bad thing because that's a piece of shit I am, Dean. I just couldn't cope with what Jackie did.
Speaking of which, did you just kill my darling wife? Now I understand that she ruined any chances you had of ever trusting anyone again, like you did with me, Charlie, or even Pete. But did you have to kill her?
I knew she was out here. I just didn't know what I'd do if I found her.
Don't kid yourself. It was always gonna end this way.
Maybe. I had something made for you. For Charlie, really. I haven't met him again. But hearing he's with Pete reminded me.
What the hell is that?
It's an elephant. An Indian elephant. You know, I remember Charlie used to read you that book before bed in the orphanage. The one about the Orient, and you used to love that part about the elephants, even without the pictures.
That is really something, Mason.
Yeah.
Charlie will love it. But I gotta go now. And you need to wake your crazy ass up.
I'll be thinking of you.
I know.
Quiet. You'll wake Pa.
He won't do nothing.
Yeah, but if we wake him, then he'll wake Ma. And if we wake her, she'll do something for sure.
I ain't afraid of Marie. She's a saint.
You ain't seen her when she's angry, Missy. We should really go to bed.
Well, what if we don't? What if we just stay real quiet?
Fine. One drink. Just
You know, do you reckon we could be outlaws?
Whoa, whoa. Where the hell is this coming from?
Well, your pa was an outlaw, right? He's done well for himself.
My pa was not an outlaw. He was an accessory to outlaw.
I'd be like him, sure. But I'd shoot people. The bad ones. Just the bad ones. Hear me out, okay? There's this sheriff down in Armagosa. I was talking to the speed merchant I know. He said his name is Richard K. That's the fellow who shot Dean Rose. The one who's buried out back. Pete's friend. He's still in charge.
Yeah? And what has that got to do with anything?
Well, you know the story. Your pa has told us both. After Dean died, the Wesson boys was over. That sheriff ruined everything for your pa.
I wouldn't say that, Missy. He shot an outlaw. That's what sheriffs do.
But he was our outlaw. Where's your sense of justice? And you know, Pete says there ain't no way Dean shot first. Meaning, the sheriff killed him unarmed.
Yeah, that's what Pa says. About a friend of his from before we were born.
I say, we take that gun your ma keeps behind the bar. We head down to Armagosa.
Now, I'm going to stop you right there, Missy. Now, you best be joking.
Gotcha.
Mr. Blackwood, is that you? Do you realize the time?
That's Ma. You see what you've gone and done?
Me? This is your fault?
What are you up to? It's getting bright outside. We open in 2 hours and you're only in now?
It was Missy's birthday, Ma. I had to celebrate it with her.
I can smell the celebration off the both of you. Missy, how old are you?
16, ma'am.
16! Still a child! And Carl, you're not even that yet. What got into the two of you staying out all night drinking?
What's going on here?
Your son has been drinking. He's only in now, with his usual partner in crime.
Missy, pull Marie up to our bath and get yourself cleaned up. What are y'all doing?
Rolling down the hill?
Children! You're acting like children!
Well, Mrs. Wesson, you did say I was a child earlier.
Hey, I won't have that lip, Missy. Look, I'm only being easy on you today because it's your birthday, no other reason. Now go get yourself cleaned up.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Thank you, sir.
Pete Wesson, you best put manners on our son.
I will, dear.
Missy, get up those stairs!
Bad. Yeah.
Hush up, Carl. Drink.
Really?
Well, if you like it so much. Reckon it's not the only thing you're liking.
What? Missy? Well, I don't know about her feelings for me, but yeah.
Carl, no girl is going to stay up in the early hours in the cold with a boy unless she ain't got feelings for him. You two have gone way past friendship. I can see that.
Yeah, and if we were, then how would you feel about it?
Well, I'd be proud. My boy was becoming a man. You know, nothing matures a man like the girl that he's trying to impress. You have an opportunity here, Carl. One I never had. Who's that at this hour?
Howdy, young man. You working for Pete Wesson? Shit. Pete Wesson. So I live and breathe. You got old.
You look older than me, son.
Yeah, well, that's what jail time will do to you, I suppose.
Look,
No,
you first.
Oh, okay. I don't really know what to say, to be honest with you, Pete.
We'll start with the introductions then. This is my son, Conor Wesson. Carl, this is Charlie.
I know who this is. Charlie Rose, right?
The
Paul
one
told me
and
the stories.
So, you're the real Wesson boy, huh?
Yes, sir. Proud of it, too.
Oh, you should be. Your pa taught me some of life's most valuable lessons.
Carl, go get Missy and Marie. They'll want me. Dad, how'd you get out?
Jackie Makeley, Rose. Go figure, right? You know, she wanted me to go with her, said she had a camp somewhere or something. But I reckon I'd be more welcome here.
Hell, you're welcome. In fact, I don't think there's anyone I'd rather have.
What about Harry and Tom, new deputies of the town?
We're working for him.
Against their will, I'd say. He hasn't figured out, Pete. And it won't be long before he figures you out, too.
Well, he can come. Good that I have you now. Could use somebody used to a gun if it came to that.
You know, funny you should say that. Remember on Dean's wedding day, when I said I feel naked without a gun? Yeah, well, that changed in jail. That here gun, I took that from the deputy before I left town. I ain't never felt so exposed as when I strung it onto my belt. I don't do guns anymore, Pete. And I've you to thank for that.
You ain't after revenge?
Now. You say that like you're disappointed.
No. Oh, Charlie, you're the man I would always hoped you'd be. Listen, you're looking for work? There's a ranch up the road and it needs improvement. It's been left in the hands of a 16-year-old girl after all.
Hey, ain't that Betsy's ranch? Where is the old gal anyway?
Yeah. She passed last year, Charlie. The girl, Betsy took her in when she was a baby. Typical thing for her to do. But, I buried her out back with Dean, just as she wanted.
Damn. I'd forgotten he was still here.
Here they are, Paul. Mr. Rose. This is Marie Wesson, my ma. And this is Missy Blackwood, the owner of the ranch down the road.
Pardon me, sir. I didn't realize we'd have guests. I'd have dressed myself.
Trust me, Mrs. Wesson, I take no offense whatsoever. I mean, look at me for Christ's sakes. And, Miss Blackwood, much obliged, man.
Pleasure's mine, Mr. Rose. I've heard so much about you.
The good parts, I hope.
The bad ones, too.
I wonder who told her that. As a matter of fact, I think this would be the most suitable time to ask you to put this in the well out back. It's the first and last thing I'll ask you to do. You'll be my boss now and all.
Me? Why?
Just do as he says, Missy. Go get a couple more hours of sleep, Maria. Don't think I'll be up for a while.
Say, does the girl know who her parents were? Come on. You didn't expect me not to notice? She has his eyes, but her smile. And frankly, I'm not sure which one I'm more afraid of.
Indeed. No, I haven't told her.
Are you gonna?
I don't know how to deal with her questions yet, Charlie.
You know, you can't shelter her forever, Pete.
I can try. Meanwhile, how about we concentrate on getting you shaved, hmm?
Cheers.
Now, what was it you needed to show me? What the hell is this? Missy!
Mr. Rose's pistol? Remember? He gave it to me to throw down the well? Surprise! I didn't do that.
Oh, Mom and Pa are gonna kill you when they see you have this. And Mr. Rose, too.
Well, what if they never find out? There's a reason that I kept it.
I don't want to know.
Fine then. Give it back. I'll keep my plotting to myself. That's what I thought. Remember that sheriff I was telling you about? Richard Kay? Word is, he's hunting down all the Wesson boys. And he's got 2 of them working for him. They know where Pete is, Carl. They've got us. If we don't do something now, they're gonna show up on your doorstep. Everyone you love is gonna die.
Where'd you hear all this?
The feed merchant I was talking to. His news is never wrong.
Yeah. What are you planning on doing with that information? Walking in there and putting one between the sheriff's eyes?
Don't point that at me!
You're right, sorry.
But yeah, that was the plan. We head down to Armagosa. We act like we're being chased. Like we need help. Need to be brought to the sheriff. Then, we get some time alone with him, and we end all this.
Oh, Missy, that's just gonna make everything worse.
Howdy, young ones. Can we speak to the owners?
Yeah, sure thing, ma'am. And who should I say is here?
Amy Witt and Mason Harvey.
Yeah, one moment, please.
What's his problem? Why is he staring at me? Yeah, I really wouldn't. Hey, friend. You got something you'd like to say to me? Mr. and Mr. Wesson, I'm Amy Witt.
Thank you for bringing them back to me.
Well, that isn't what it is, Mr. Wesson. In fact, he brought me here, and I'm eternally grateful for that. What do you want from us? I was told by some friends of your husband's that I could rely on you for a safe place. They got me out of a tough spot, out of nothing but the goodness of them. Their names are Tom and Harry.
My boys? My boys, are they all right?
They're fine as far as I know.
We can't take another Pete.
Missy, you could use some free hands at the ranch, right?
Yeah, Mr. Wesson, the more the merrier.
Wait. If you brought her here, you don't intend on staying?
Mason's riding into town today, Mr. Wesson. From what I could gather, he wants Charlie Rose to come with him. He's going after Richard Case and those who stand with him. To protect you, Mr. Wesson.
To protect us from what?
The sheriff knows who you are, Mr. Wesson.
What? How?
He's got Harry Hughes in his eyes. They say there's a man that never lies.
This is suicide, Mason. Maybe you want that, but I don't. You are not going down in your shirts, held bringing Charlie into this muck with you. You just want to be at your side, nothing else.
I saw riders. Is everyone? Holy shit. Mason? Hey, Pete. Mason. What's the matter with y'all?
He ain't staying.
What you talking about, man?
He's going into town to get himself killed. He's going after Richard Kay.
But I'm going with you.
No, Charlie, you ain't. Look, I'm going to ask you one more time. Don't go. And if you must, do it alone. You owe me that much. Charlie, I just got you back, so.
I can't, Mason. Revenge is a circle. You know that better than any. I don't think Harry sold us out. Even if he is a lawman now. Christ, Mason. Sometimes I think you just enjoy fucking up your life.
Where's Carl and Missy?
They were there just a moment ago.
They might have gone down by the ranch. I'll take them to the horse. Just go find them.
Just as far as the ranch, Charlie. Do not go after him.
I promise.
here, Missy. I don't think they believe us.
If they didn't believe us, they wouldn't have let us in. The deputy said the sheriff would be here any minute now.
Yeah, but they were laughing when they said it. Why were they laughing?
It doesn't matter. All that matters is we get to Kay.
Howdy, folks. How can I help you all today?
The reasons we're here are delicate.
Reporting a crime you don't want to be implicated in? Yeah, I've been there. Well, why are you here then? I'll do my best to help you, but you gotta tell me.
We're here to kill you, Richard Kay. Why are you laughing? I'm serious.
I've no doubt you are, darling, but I ain't Richard Kay. He's gone scouting in the desert as far as I'm aware. I'm acting sheriff, Tom Day. Tom Day? Missy, he's a Wesson's boy. And you know your local history. Who do I have the pleasure of being threatened by?
Well, I wouldn't threaten you, sir. Conor Wesson. My pa is Pete.
Pete would never come all this way to kill somebody he's never met. And that way you're unlike him. Unless you were dragged here by the girl whose face I still can't place.
You don't know me. Now give me your gun. We have questions.
You sure we ain't met?
I'm sure. Now sit down.
Oh, you've got to be shitting me. I'd appreciate my gun back now. Last time I met this man, we tried to kill each other.
Mr. Harvey, what are you doing here?
Same reason you're here, right? My gun, if you please, Carl.
You ain't getting your gun back until you answer our questions. What does the sheriff know about the Wesson boys?
He doesn't know shit. He's too preoccupied with the gangs in the desert to pick up an old case like that.
And Harry Hughes, the man who doesn't laugh, has he sold Pete out?
Harry's a smart man. My best friend. He knows how to avoid questions.
Everyone stop! 4 out horses sitting outside a sheriff's office is gonna draw attention, so let's go before this gets any worse.
This day just gets more and more interesting. Miss Witt?
Deputy Day, we were expecting the sheriff.
I'm aware. He ain't here and I don't know when he'll be back. If y'all leave now, I can cover for you. Say you were friendlies.
That's all we need to hear, right? Richard K. ain't here, so let's go before this gets any worse.
Ain't you gonna tell her, Mason? Ain't you gonna tell the girl who you are? What you did?
Mason, don't!
From the way they all stand around you, I can tell they're terrified of you. How is it you managed to scare everybody, Mason? Even the ones who half trust you. Y'all right to be scared. This is a man who murdered dozens of people in Sacramento, stood there and smiled for the only time in his life. This is a man who just today watched his own daughter act the outlaw and looked on without so much as saying a single word.
What?
Yeah, I knew I recognized you. Same eyes. Tell her, Mason. Tell her what you did to her mother. Tell her right there, Tom! I brought her up back, just like Helen used to do to me. It didn't last long, it wasn't the point. The point was I was in charge. There was no one controlling me. Do you realize that I lost a part of myself that day? And with it, with the pain and the humiliation, I passed that off on her, but a piece of me went too. I'm sick of you using Sacramento against me as if you're better than me. You saw me smile, and you thought the worst. But you always thought the worst of me, didn't you, Tom? I was smiling, not because I'd killed and maimed countless others that day, but because, if you recall, I was shot 10 times. I was smiling because I thought it was over. Brother, I thought I was dying.
We need to go now, Mason.
No! This needs to be said. Ain't that what you said, Tom? The day you broke Wesson's boys?
Oh, I did no such thing. That was all you!
It was me, wasn't it? It was me! When Mother Helen strapped my back with a whip. It was me! When she beat me across the face so bad my eyes filled with blood. It was me. She made it so I couldn't get it up unless there was rape involved, Tom. Was it me then, brother?
It was her, Mason. You know that.
Y'all want to know why I never spoke? Huh? Goes way back. Goes back to that orphanage. Tom knows. What would she say? What would Mother Helen say if you tried to speak to me back then?
Mother Helen would say that you didn't want to talk.
That I didn't want to talk. So since then, someone spoke to me, I ignored them. Because in the back of my mind, I thought that if I replied, she'd be there. And she wouldn't go away. Like in the nightmares. But that's what this is all about, right? These scars. And the silence. I find safety in these scars now, Tom. How fucked is that? I didn't speak because I was afraid to. But people feared me because I did it. Back that day, in the tavern, if you had a gun, would you kill me?
No. I wouldn't have killed you. I would have put you down. Like the animal that you are.
That's what I thought. I've got to balance the guilt.
What?
Stay! Get over. Where's the second gun, Tom? I know you were armed, Tom Day. I know it. You don't get to do this to me, Tom. He was armed, I swear. God. He was armed. He was going to fight back. He was going to fight back.
We need to go now, Mason.
Come on.
What?
Fucking kill me, Amy! I can't do it myself! You've seen that! I just slaughtered my goddamn brother!
You can't ask me to do that. Not after everything we've been through.
What do you think we are, huh? I don't know what you need, but I am what you want. All right? You charge people to touch you? I can't stand being touched. You were just another passenger.
No, that ain't true. It ain't.
Suppose there ain't no point in asking you, is there? You got too much Wesson's blood in you. You want an adventure, right? This is what adventure gets you. What about you, huh?
No! Mason!
Nicely done, kid. Fuck! Oh. need you to get something to Charlie for me. He'll know what it means. Can you do that for me?
I will, Mason. It's ruined my life.
Good. Oh. Empty. No more dreaming for me, huh? Just rest. Before I do, though, my daughter deserves to know the truth.
What is it?
I left you with Betsy. I did. I thought, that day I met your mother, it ended in horror, but I thought that maybe if I was keeping her alive, there'd be some forgiveness there, and just... I brought her into the desert with me. Every day was a struggle. Every goddamn day. She tried to escape once or twice, and she realized she had no idea where we were. She came back. But when pregnancy started showing her, I knew I couldn't leave her. I knew I had to see it through. If that meant taking back the pain and the humiliation, I was willing. Oh, damn it, I was fucking willing. But, up until that moment, when I held you in my arms, with your little fist around my thumb, and up until that moment, there was still hatred in your mother's eyes when she looked at me, but as she bled, as she died, she gave me one last look, and it was nice. The look was nice. Do you trust that boy?
I do.
Good. His father's the greatest man I've ever known. Carl.
Yes, sir?
You treat my daughter right, or I swear to God I will haunt you until the day you die. It was a good shot. That look was nice.
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Wesson. Whiskey, now. I'm real sorry to be disturbing you two on such a fine evening. But we're here to investigate reports of outlaw activity in the area, as well as follow up on a missing persons case. The person in question's name is Miss Amy Witt. That'll ring a bell with you two.
Can't say it does, Sheriff.
Figures. How about the names Charlie Rose or Harvey? Huh?
They're the outlaws?
Oh, they are. Those outlaws are responsible for the burning down of an orphanage, the murder of a nun, the murder of 2 county sheriffs and their deputies, several bank and train car robberies, as well as a bloody massacre down in Sacramento. On top of all that, they killed the previous owner of this establishment, and they abducted his daughter. Now, I hope I don't have to explain to you why the name of the gang that brought me to your doorstep, do I, Mr. and Mrs. Wesson?
No, Sheriff, you don't, but don't you think naming a gang of bandits after one of their own second names is kind of stupid thinking?
One would assume, Mr. Wesson. One would assume. But I'm far too old and far too sick for that. What I'm trying to tell you two old-timers is that ever since I started hunting this gang, word about town is that I'm damn near obsessed with them. I thought I'd be finished with this entire fiasco by 65, but I was dealt a raw deal. Took me getting tuberculosis to realize that I ain't fulfilled my destiny just yet. I ain't got long left. I was told you had a son. Where's the boy?
You won't. Warren, Sheriff?
Oh, you know how boys can be. They hear that their parents are in trouble. They'll stop at nothing to save them. War whiskey, bitch.
If there's anything we could do to aid in your investigation, sir, I can assure you.
Firstly, you can start cooperating with the law, or I'll have my deputy hack off them lovely hands of yours in front of your daughter and husband.
And it won't be quick. It's been a long time since I cleaned mine now. Still a little stained after the last round of repercussions.
You lay another hand on my wife, I'll take those eyes out of your head and I'll feed them to you.
There's the rage. There's the rage I expected from the ghost himself. Show it to me. Tear my eyes out, old man. I want you to. Speak up. Just get
out. I'm not telling you where the boys are.
Oh, you don't have to, old man.
Sheriff,
You ain't got a lot of luck, do you, boy?
Hey! Come on, just let me kill him.
Get off me, Oscar. I'm trying to savor this moment.
What have you done?
Oh, boy, you ain't got the balls. Revenge was served. There ain't many men who can say they executed that in one day.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you!
Charlie, that ain't you no more.
Sheriff, I heard. Hughes! What? Shoot this man! The bitch, too! They're outlaws!
No, stop!
Do it, Hughes. There'll be medals in this for you yet.
I don't need medals. I got medals.
You told me you
Fighting for something I believed in.
You told me you were with me, boy. You swore.
I lied. Quick, get him up onto one of the tables.
Proud of you, boys. Both of you. You'll always be my boys no matter what.
We know, Pete. We know.
Your eyes look beautiful, beautiful even when you cry. My wife's crying, boys. You know anything about women?
Pete, stop.
Charlie. Find Mason and my son for me. But Carl first, if you can.
No, Pete. I'll go. Charlie lost his only brother here. You can't make him go out there alone.
You're right and you're wrong. I'm not letting him go out on his own. He's still got one brother left, at least. Harry, come here. Come here.
I was wrong, Pete. I did things wrong.
We all make mistakes. You must make up for it. You did. Don't forget me.
I would never. We'll be right back here. We'll be right back, Mrs. Wesson.
God speak for us.
You will be careful.
To Helen back.
Why are you smiling?
Your eyes look as bright as the day I met you. I still owe you a recital, don't I?
No, Pete.
Yeah, I do. I do not speak well enough to liken you to the moon or to the summer. Instead, let me place you in a field of flowers of Cherokee roses without number. The olden mystics of the native tribes will weep their way west. Where their tears fell, the roses would grow best. They had lost their children, they had lost their way. Quite like me, for night turned to day and day turned to night, and the cycle impossible to fight. You are my Cherokee rose, blew along my path. When the sun shines, you are happy, but neither do you fear the rain's wrath. Although I look back on dark days, come and gone, when I see you, all I see is the one.
I will follow you always, to heaven or to hell. You are my Cherokee rose, and you bloomed where my tears fell.
I stayed in Weston after that. I helped Carl and Marie at the bar and Charlie and Missy at the ranch. Parry stayed too. For a while, that is. But then he rode up north with the ideas of becoming a reverend. I'll never forget what he said to me the day he left. He said, "My decisions do not come as a result of my faith. My faith comes as a result of my decisions." Years went by and eventually Carl and Missy got married. Harry was a reverend, naturally. But Charlie Rose, well, he got restless. He kept saying that there was one thing in life that he never did, and he left without telling us what it was. He did leave this behind, though. Last year, we got a letter. It was addressed to Carl from India. It had one line of writing, and in scrawly writing it said, "I found one." Inside was a photograph, one of the few that we have here at the bar. It was of Charlie, grinning from ear to ear, sitting on top of this glorious beast with leathery skin and a long nose. Hey Marie, do we still have that photo?
What photograph?
The one of Charlie, sitting on top of the Ella.
The elephant?
That's the one.
Well, what do you need that for?
Well, for the story, of course.
I wish you'd stop pestering the patrons with that tale of yours.
It's not a tale, it's a ballad. The Ballad of Wesson boys.
Well, whatever you call it, you'll have to ask Carl for that picture. He keeps it in his bedside locker, I believe.
You ain't gonna believe what we just saw sprouting outside. They were sprouting on Paul's grave, growing towards all the others.
Slow down, Carl. What were?
No.
I think we finally have a name. Rosie Cherokee Wesson.
It's perfect.